your involvement here today is the true kickoff, because it's the first time we've actually put a substantial number of people in the room that either were CPR staff or ANF staff in the room to talk about. So I very much appreciate the fact that you're here and that you're involved. It means this project, a really exciting project, in some ways an overwhelming project, is truly underway. So one of the changes that was made in the last year was the fact that we've taken this from a financial transformation project, in essence replacing Mars, and added HR into the mix, right? So the core HR systems and financial systems are in play through the project, and that's a change from the project which was identified a couple of years ago, simply out of the Comptroller's office. And I want you to be aware of that. Additionally, and you'll see this in the slides being presented by the project management staff, you'll see a series of other platforms that will be considered as a function of this transformation. So the project really is not about software. The project is about change. And I think the faster we recognize and you folks help us with communicating that change within your agencies, the better off we will be. The software will take care of itself. There'll be a procurement. Quite frankly, in the space that we're talking about, there are maybe 5 vendors that play in that space. So we already have a general sense of what the product is likely to look like, but that product will be dramatically different than what you're using today. And therefore, it's about change. It's about change in an environment in which we're using 1980s job descriptions. It's a change in an environment where we're talking more about AI and BI and RPA and analytics from today when we deal largely with pen and paper. And so I hope that if we take one thing away from today, it's that we really need you to continue to communicate about this project as a change project moving forward. So one of the conscious efforts we made from a governance perspective was first to identify sponsors. As Helen identified, I've wanted 3 sponsors. The Secretary of ANF is the other, as is the Secretary of EROTS, Kurt Wood, is the third. We're part of a larger group, an executive steering committee that has already met half a dozen times or so to talk about this project to lead up to this date. And that executive steering committee is a group of 9 individuals, and they're fairly diverse in terms of their representation. It was very important to us that higher ed was in the discussion and that independent agencies and constitutionals were represented, because quite frankly, the 152 agencies we serve more than just secretariat agencies. We also have the independents and the constitutionals. And given the breadth of this project in terms of the number of platforms and opportunities to change and improve how we do things across the Commonwealth, the Executive Steering Committee needed to represent that diversity. And so it does, and we meet on a regular basis. I'm sure over time we'll communicate more about what's happening within that group. But ultimately, is that group, with your input and the input of others, that will drive the RFP, and that RFP will ultimately drive the product we choose. And from that, it becomes an implementation project, which means it's a project that will affect what happens to you every day. I've said to many people, and it seems to resonate, we may not like Mars today, we may not like HRCMS today, we may not like some of the other platforms we're talking about changing today, but the first day we turn on the new system, Mars will look really good, right? And if you go in from that perspective, that change is going to happen, and maybe the new product doesn't meet every expectation, because largely it is assumed that this project will not be as customized as the product you use today. We're going to have to live within some of those parameters. As soon as we embrace that as the sort of precept, as the bottom line of what's going to happen, the better off we will be to make sure that the project is successful.